look away, you witness a king's revival.
Zelda. Yep, Tears of the Kingdom, the new Zelda game. That about covers it. That is the game that is coming out this month. Okay, I'm kidding, mostly. There are other games coming out this month and I would love to tell you all about them, so even if you're not planning on playing the most anticipated Zelda game in series history, because it's been the one that's taken the longest to come out, at least you got something to pass the time until that does come out. Let's talk about May 2023's biggest games. The other biggest game this month is Redfall, the up to 4-player first-person shooter slash staker where you help a scenic New England town rid itself of a vampire infestation. And if you haven't been keeping track, this is from Arcane, the studio behind Dishonored and Prey, that is exclusively on the new Xboxes and PC. As a reformed New Englander, I'd also like to point out that Redfall is an unrealistically cool-sounding name, aside from the autumn foliage double entendre, and most towns in New England have non-threatening names like Goshen, Wellfleet, Kennebunkport, Gaylordsville, or Sandwich. Those are all real names, you can look it up. Also that day on both those platforms and the PS5 is Age of Wonders 4, the 4X strategy game about wizard kings and tomes of magic and other fantastical none such. Hey, you know what was an Age of Wonders? Adolescence, which I guess came with its own tomes of magic that I had to hide from my mom. Anyway, on May 3rd, there's Super Dungeon Maker on Switch and PC, and would you believe it, this is a game about making dungeons. It sure is. So think Mario Maker, but with Zelda, except without Mario or Zelda. And I think there's a chicken with a sword, so I think we'll all be okay with that one. On May 4th, Ravenlock comes to all the Xboxes and PC. That's a hack and slash from the studio behind Echo Generation that seems loosely based on Alice in Wonderland, but also a little bit steampunk, and it's got voxels, but not an overwhelming amount of voxels, so take it or leave it. On May 5th, Death or Treat comes to the consoles and PC. That is a 2D action roguelite where you play as a ghost, and it's coming out just in time to be almost 6 months early for Halloween. But hey, I guess people die every day, and also you can have treats year-round, so hey, why not? Apparently Darkest Dungeon wasn't actually the Darkest Dungeon, because now there's Darkest Dungeon 2, which promises to be so dark you can't even tell what's going on. You play this on an OLED display and you won't even know the TV is on. Okay, not really, but this roguelite RPG will have you making lots and lots more difficult decisions and probably killing a few darlings in the process. That is on PC on May 8th. The 2021 action RPG Ys 9 Monstrum Nox hits PS5 on May 9th, and that includes all the DLC for the game and probably bigger textures and also smaller load times. One should expect that of a next-gen port. A day later, The Lord of the Rings Heroes of Middle-earth comes to mobile devices, and it's a turn-based tactical thingamajig that is also a free-to-play EA game, so it'll probably have some gross microtransactions to get mad about, but maybe it also has Tom Bombadil, so who doesn't love Tom Bombadil? The day after that, May 12th, is The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom on Nintendo Switch, and you not only already knew that, you probably also have at least one copy pre-ordered. If you've been out of the loop, this is the long-awaited sequel to Breath of the Wild, which is once again an open-world Zelda game, but this time it doubles down on the physics-based mechanics, letting you glue all kinds of stuff to all kinds of other stuff, and also visit Sky Islands and maybe some proper dungeons this time around. In any case, I'm as excited to see the insane stuff people do in this game as I am to actually play the game myself. A week later, on the 19th, another game about building ludicrous contraptions and turning them loose in an open world is LEGO 2K Drive, which looks like an absolute blast. It's a massive open world spiritual successor to LEGO Racers, which I am dying to mess with, and that's on everything, and I actually choke-snorted laughing watching gameplay of this and seeing that an area of the game is called Big Butte County, which is admittedly not exactly highbrow comedy, but this game isn't exactly Gran Turismo. It's a game where you can make a rocket-powered golf cart out of Danish construction toys, so I'll allow it. It's funny because Butte is spelled like butt.
Cover your butt.
Cover the what?
On the 23rd, After Us comes to New Gen and PC, which is a 3D platformer that looks a whole lot like, well, not much else. I remember this one sticking out at the Game Awards when it got revealed, and I have no idea what the actual gameplay is like overall, but I dig the amount of big swings it is taking in the art department. That same day, don't forget, Amnesia: The Bunker comes to the Xboxes, the PlayStation, and PC, and it continues the first-person horror series that I refuse to play by setting the latest installment in a World War I bunker, really ensuring that I won't play it because in addition to being too scary, now it sounds like it'd also be sad and gross. If you like an experience that's harrowing in a much more literal sense, reap what you sow in Farming Simulator 23 on Switch and mobile that day as well. On the 25th, Miasma Chronicles comes to New Gen and PC, which is a tactical turn-based RPG about a boy and his robot brother exploring a post-apocalyptic new America. This is from the team behind Mutant Year Zero, and it seems like it might have some Full Metal Alchemist vibes, so keep an eye on that one if it sounds cool. That same day, PlayStation's VR 1 and 2 get Hello Neighbor Search and Rescue, which will allow you to do some well-meaning breaking and entering, all while avoiding that Nigel Thornberry-looking-ass neighbor, this time in VR. Still that very day is also The Lord of the Rings Gollum, which was originally slated for a 2021 release. This was announced way back in March 2019, and I feel like it might have been the first game officially announced for PS5, or maybe it was a Series X, but either way, it's out for both of those consoles as well as the last gen ones and PC, and also there is an Elvish language track, which is cool, but it also costs $10. Finally, on the 30th, the System Shock remake is out for PC, and this is one of those games that we've been talking about for so long that I could have sworn it was already out, but I guess it got delayed at some point. Anyway, assuming it doesn't get delayed again, it'll come out this month, which is true of really everything on this list, and it's also possible I just forgot something and something comes out without me having told you about it. Did I forget something? Sound off in the comments. Did you know that the best way to get information on the internet is to make a completely inaccurate declaration? People are more likely to pop up and go, actually you're wrong, than they are to respond to somebody seeking information the old-fashioned way by just asking a question. I actually don't know if that's factually true or not, but if it's not, I'm sure somebody will chime in to let me know that I'm wrong. Anyway, my point is, if we forgot something, don't hold it against me, but hopefully you're too excited about Zelda to care either way, and with that, I'll be back in a month to tell you about all the big games of June, such as Fantastic Finale 16, Boulevard Pugilist number 6, and of course, the 4th long-awaited entry in the popular Foreign Word for Devil series. I'll see you then.